right. Well, good morning. Another episode of Yes Way Jose. We've got a good guest for you today, but of course, we always like to kind of add what's new in the world with Travis and Eli. And by the way, what an attendance record you have, Eli.
I know, right?
You got here on time and everything today.
On time, and
Yeah.
I mean, you're physically here. It's like
I even stopped and got gas.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Does he have gas? Does he get gas? I missed that one.
Well, it is the morning.
It's our show. Well, good morning to everybody. Obviously, we love having you listen to the program. We mentioned, I think, in one of our last episodes that we're over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
So we're kind of excited about that piece. But we want you always, we've got to reiterate, we want to hear from you. When you listen,
yeah.
just tell us a little bit what's going on, what you like, what you don't like. We want to make those kind of adaptations that we know that we can get the largest audience to listen to this program so they can kind of know what's going on in our community.
Right.
That's the big, obviously that's the biggest focus for us for the program is what you guys were deciding, what you wanted from it. And I want to be a part of that, making that happen. So again, good morning to everybody. Hey, we have don't we have an email?
YesWayJose@gmail. Wait, no.
Wow.
Whoa, I messed up.
YesWayJoseMail@gmail.com.
There we go.
All right, can we try that again, guys? 1, 2, 3.
YesWayJosemail@gmail.com.
Wow. And we were doing so good with that. Our guest is looking at
I
us like,
was.
man, we used
It's
to
that mail. The mail threw me off.
Yeah, you forget sometimes.
just mail.
Yeah.
Just yes, way mail. But anyway, again, good morning. I think the biggest thing is we're getting into school's already in, and everybody's doing what they're doing.
I know. I was getting stuck behind school buses this morning. I was like, oh no, this has started.
Yeah, and listen, and we want to wish everybody a happy. I think we're going to have we got a holiday weekend coming up, and then we got. So we think more than anything else with everybody going on, we don't have a lot going this next couple of weeks, but after that, we start hitting it with the food truck invasion. It's on the 29th, and then we go into the. We have an event that's put on in the city. It's not sponsored by us. It's the Oktoberfest. We're going to see how that goes on the 5th. And, hopefully that thing can grow. We're not really not sure what the turnout's going to be, how it's all going to be. But we're going to support the folks that want to put it on. And then October the 12th, we're obviously going to have our mayor's walk. And we're actually, my public works guys told me already they have it marked off for a 5K, which is 3.1 miles.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to walk into the areas that the trails are actually going to go back in towards the, I guess it's going to be the northwest side of the river, and then it takes you right back down, coming back down to First Street.
Okay.
So it's going to be kind of cool. We got that, and then obviously we got a Halloween gig coming up.
I know you're excited about that one.
Yeah, I try to tell you, it's my wife's really big deal. She loves Halloween. Wait till you see the house. But I think for me I've started getting into it, having fun, being different characters. I've been Beetlejuice. I was Jack last year, Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So I've got a cool one now, and I am not telling anybody what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I know what it is.
No, you don't. No, he does not. He does not. That's a no. That'd be a no. It's top secret stuff. The only one person knows, and if she tells somebody, yes.
Is it a different? Oh, so it's not the one that you told me about.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. All right. Anyway, so good morning again, and we're glad to have you. And listen, before we start with our guest, I just have to tell you that this lady has, if you're talking about one of rainbows and sunshines, I don't know that I've ever been around her that she hasn't had that kind of energy. And but I got to tell a story because when I first got elected back in November, she had reached out to me about coming to Shepherdsville Elementary. They had a shoe program they were helping the kids out, and I just wanted you to know. It was the first time I ever seen her work inside the school and do things, and it meant a lot to me, the engagement she had. And these kids felt real good about what was going on around them, not really feeling that, they were pointed out. They were more about just kids and having a good time. It's getting close to Christmas, and it was really wonderful to sit with those kids and actually help put the shoes on. And I was there with a few other folks, but it shows you the atmosphere that this woman has. And so I want to say good morning, Traci Gould.
Good morning.
And we're glad to have you. So if you want to introduce yourself and what you have done. Keep it limited to like 50 things that you do in the community.
Oh, my gosh.
We don't want to do the 100 thing,
no
100 list, but just a little bit about what you do in this community. And I'd love to have the audience listen to the number of things that you do. So good morning.
Good morning.
No pressure.
None at all. Thank you. So I'm Traci Gould. I am the Family Resource Coordinator at Shepherdsville Elementary. I've been there now. This is my 19th year.
19th year?
Yeah. I'm the only one that's ever been there.
I was about to say, is that school been open for 19
The school's been open for 20.
Oh, okay.
So when they created that position and hired the person, it was me.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I've been there the whole time.
Man, that
so
makes me feel old.
Yeah.
I remember, when I went to middle school, it wasn't there.
You might be old.
You've been there longer than I've been alive.
Oh, wow. Okay, now I feel old.
By a
Thank you.
year.
Thank you. Thank you, young
Eli.
person.
Okay, that's-
Now you stepped in it.
So now
Yeah.
we need to turn Eli's microphone on.
Right?
Just kidding, Eli. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, 19
So, yeah.
years there, and
Yeah.
well, tell me
So-
some of the things that you've done with the school. I know the shoe program
Oh,
and some of the things
gosh.
you've done, but just some of the things like that you do. School supplies and always looking out for these kids, and that's an amazing thing that you do.
Thank you. Well, we're just kind of nestled in an area that has a lot of need. Not everybody, but there's a good pocket of families that need things. And so we just really try to find a way to get them what they need without them feeling bad about it.
I think it's a great point, and I guess my question to you: the parents obviously are very receptive to it. They seem very kind. I mean, I gotta love you because I think the pressure of when school starts is you got to get clothes, you got to get supplies,
It's a lot, yeah.
and you're still trying to pay your bills.
Right.
I mean, so again, those challenges are out there, and I think it does symbolize a lot of what you do about these kids. You love the kids, and if you guys don't know it, you never say no to Tracy.
Okay.
When she calls, you might as well just go ahead and get the yes out of the way before
right.
she starts the waterboarding. I mean, all the stuff starts happening. It's going to get rough. So
good to know.
you're better off to just save that part. Just go, yes, Tracy, how can I help you?
Perfect.
Because it does. I mean,
love
and I do believe that because I think she's a hustler, man. I mean, it's instant message. Hey, can you do this for me? Yes, ma'am. That's my answer because it is. It's always good stuff.
She's gonna be asking you for everything. Now, she
And,
knows
Yeah.
that.
you know what? And I
already
love
does.
I love it because I think you got a bookmobile, right? You got a bookmobile. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Well, yeah, I bought a bus.
Bought a
And
bus.
yeah,
Bought a bus.
this is not related to the school. This will be me personally.
yes.
This is my little post-retirement
Okay.
plan.
Okay.
And so I bought a bus, and we are going to go to neighborhoods with books. I think so many kids now, I mean, they're on electronics at school, they're on electronics at home. They don't go outside and play, and they don't read. And I just think that kids need books. So we're going to go to neighborhoods right now that are in my school district because those are the kids that have my heart right now.
Okay.
Maybe later,
Sure,
I'll go elsewhere, but just go there, and then I'm hoping I can use that book bus for other things. I'll have books on the bus. I'll have people who have helped sponsor that bus go with me, and we'll have snack day. So we'll take books and snacks,
So
and we'll
that's-
take
you got me
books and
thinking.
underwear and
Yeah.
books and whatever out to kids for things they need.
Yeah, I like the idea of actually having something where they can go through the park, do a walk, have a place to have a picnic, and do a little bit of reading, and then finish up the walk. So the
Yeah.
kids are outside, first of all, and then they get to do a little bit of reading while they're out there. And I'll order
Yeah,
the
that
weather
could be
because
cool.
if you don't know that,
Right, yes,
I
do
have
that.
control of the weather, right,
Yeah.
guys?
Unless it's bad, and then it's your
yeah,
wife's
that's my
fault.
wife's
Right.
fault.
Yeah.
See, thank you.
We know.
Travis.
We know.
Yeah, if it's bad weather, it's my wife's fault.
That's awesome.
It's not my fault.
Yeah.
But
And
when
then-
the weather's good,
That's
yes.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then this is not a new concept. It's just new for me. My friend Lynette has a book bus as well.
Okay.
She's at Bullet Lick.
Okay.
And so I've been going with her to our neighborhoods. But now if I have one as well, we can split and go to different neighborhoods
think this
and
is
get,
great.
help more kids at one time.
I think that just the interactive. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is it are they buying the books or is it like?
Oh no,
or-
no.
Okay, they're
no,
just
they're
like,
all donated books.
Okay.
People can sponsor by donating new or used children's books only right now.
Okay.
And then the books are free. They can keep them. If they read them and they don't have space for them, they can bring them back, put them
Okay.
on there and exchange
Oh,
them.
so they can
But-
keep them if they wanted.
Oh
to.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay,
They can
okay.
keep them, give them to their neighbors.
I didn't know
as
if it was a
long
thing
as-
where they had to turn it back in. Or,
No, no,
yeah.
no. Nope, they're theirs forever.
Okay,
if
that's
they
really
want
cool.
to keep them,
Yeah.
or they can exchange them, or they can give them to their friends.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do.
We can always do like a book day at the aquatic center.
Yeah.
Like when that gets open,
Yeah.
when the kids leave, they can come out, check out the books, and then maybe take something home. I mean,
Awesome.
all
Yeah.
kinds of things like that. You're gonna have good traffic in that area because obviously with everything going on. But I think that's. I think it's just the engagement piece that I like a lot. Kids feel like it's just a nice way to get into the neighborhoods and see the kids and gives them something to look forward to. Obviously
does.
with the different things that you guys do. So I do think that's a great piece. I don't want to get too much. I mentioned to you before we started that we were going to mention your hubby.
Okay.
And Forest Edge,
Okay.
and just mentioned that Forest Edge have obviously you guys as a family has decided to invest in our downtown area, and I think that's a commendable thing because as we look at that, the rumor is first of all that I'm tearing every building down.
I've heard that.
I know. Did you hear
You're
that?
a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy.
He's out there by himself with
Yes,
a sledgehammer,
yes,
just
yes.
knocking buildings down.
So obviously, with all that said, it's really nice that we've got, in all seriousness, we have really people that are willing to take their hard-earned money and make a difference in that downtown. So when people listen to this podcast, I want them to really pay attention. We have people in this community that will take their money and invest in the future what that downtown area is going to look like. And you're one family, and I want to tell you thank you to you and your husband and your family.
Awesome.
Because I think it's going to be good. You got a coffee and a wine shop kind of going on. You got some other businesses that are coming down there. We've got other people that have invested. So a lot of those buildings that we still have left that happened after the flood, the last flood we had, is that we're trying to preserve them as much as possible.
Right.
We're really excited. Obviously, the bank salon is going to be a possession of the city in about 2 to 3 weeks. And then we're going to keep that building historic. We're going to have inside of that building is a visitor center that you'll actually have pictures of the flooding. You have pictures, way back pictures of the bank.
I was going to say, when you said the most recent flood, are you talking about the one that was like a couple years ago?
No.
Okay, are we talking about the last big one?
Big flood.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because there was one, what was like
90
3-4 years ago where it got real high.
Yeah, but it's 97 is the one, the real rough one that most people remember.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But when we have that kind of, trying to do those kind of things, we can do so much with that. We've got different activities we do. We'd love to see the bookmobiles down there for the kids to give them something else. And reading goes a long way. It's their imagination that these books that can take them some places. And I think for our kids, we need to make sure that they feel like they're learning, they can read. We want them to be able to write and do basic math. Now, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into that, but these are the kind of things that help with that.
As someone who, you can ask Eli. I read a lot. I have a lot of books, but but as someone who reads a lot, it does it kind of troubles me a little bit when you see the kids are just on tablets and screens all the time. Because the thing is, like, when you're on a tablet or a screen or whatever, like, you're watching and like that's fine, but like you're not actually using your own imagination to make what you're reading.
You got to stir this thing up here a little bit.
Right? You're not exercising that muscle.
I just recently discovered that I like reading. So Eli's
like, these words things are pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, because you know what? He picked up a book with no pictures.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Then he had no choice.
Yeah, he had to imagine.
He had no choice.
500 pages of this.
You need to keep coming around because you're really more entertaining when we get to pick on you. I'm liking this part. They'll probably call in sick on the next episode. Well, I can't make it. I don't feel good today. Because he knows
can't break my attendance.
Yeah, this is really amazing. I'm so
3
excited.
in a row.
Yeah. So we got to throw this out there. Do you know what Gaga Ball is?
No.
You don't? We're going to have to really put on a dissertation or some kind of seminar for the city to know what Gaga Ball is.
We can teach Eli while we're at it.
And no kidding, yeah.
We can give out books.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
And so Gaga Ball is dodgeball for kids. It's in a pit. They play in about a pit that's about a 24-foot.
He says that. I thought dodgeball was for kids already. But
Well, no, adults still can do it.
I know.
But it's a different version of, I guess, it's the different version of dodgeball. You don't throw it. So you're in this pit with kids, and what you do is the ball cannot hit you below the knee. It can hit you above the knee, and you're still in. Not like the traditional dodgeball that we think of. Okay. So you're really using your hands to protect your knees down. So if the ball doesn't hit you there and you can block it, you're still in the game. Now, you use a hand to hit the ball. Instead of throwing, you use it to hit it, and that's their throwing process.
Okay.
That's how you get people out. The game's
so
actually,
you're not allowed to grab it and roll it or anything?
No.
Oh, okay, so it all has to be hidden.
You can't be holding the ball.
That makes it more challenging.
Some of the kids will actually kind of they call it kind of a dribbling. They'll bounce it against the wall for a little, and then come off there and use their hand. That's really weird to watch some of these kids.
Can you not bounce it? Can you not dribble it on the ground? Is that okay?
No,
that's not allowed.
No,
I love the fact that we've been talking about Gaga Ball for like every episode,
and
we're just now learning. We're like, oh, okay, so you have to. Oh, okay.
Again, just so you know, Tracy, we were making up a lot of stories about Gaga Ball and national championships and 5-pound rings, and they went to Hawaii for their celebration.
Yeah, Eli had a team.
I have a medal.
Yeah, and we had kids with beard on a 12-year-old team. One kid was driving the rest of the kids to practice. Yeah.
Okay, that's like the Billy Madison version.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Okay,
Yes,
that's good. We can play that.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a fun game for kids. We built one of them. Field of Grace actually built one on the park and on the downtown side, and then we're going to build another one over there by the playground and splash pad. So the kids love it.
It's taking over. It's the new pickleball.
It's
the pickleball for kids.
It's it's their game.
Jose's going to make sure of it.
Yes. We're not on a Gaga Ball march.
Gaga Ball crusade.
We're going to make that. But it's a great game for kids. So of the things that you've done, you said obviously what you do at Shepherdsville Elementary, and you have the bookmobile. I know you do more stuff. I know. Yes. We'll talk a little bit about. I mean, we want to know more about Tracy.
Gosh.
Just pick a couple.
Okay.
No rush.
So a lot of our needs there are just basic needs. Mm-hmm. So we have done. I did a whole series of programs called Think Outside the Box, and that was a box of things every month. So if any family that wanted to could sign up for that from our school, and we did one that was a coat, gloves, and a hat.
Okay.
So you got that. If you signed up for that in your size and gender preference and all that. And then we've done one that was another one that was a winter kit, and it had a hat, gloves, hot chocolate, and chapstick.
Oh,
so you could sign up for that one.
Okay.
My favorite one is the pajama box.
Oh, okay.
We did the community. It's a completely free program for my center. So the community provided all the items, and they had in this box was a pair of pajamas, a nightlight, a book, and a new blanket.
Oh, cool.
And so we did that for about 200 of our kids signed up for that. And I know, our community is very into those kind of things because they're fun. But I think even deeper, they don't realize that, a lot of these kids, they don't have pajamas for pajama day.
Yeah.
How fun is pajama day?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I hate pajama day. I don't have pajamas. And they may have actually provided a blanket for a kid who slept without one.
Yeah.
And not all of them, but
Sure.
if you got at least one, that's one too many. So
Yeah, I think about a
so
month
those
ago.
things are so fun.
Yeah, a month or two ago, we actually went to one of the neighborhoods, and we brought fruit and we brought books.
Yeah.
And some school supplies. So just to be out in the neighborhood, that was kind of fun to do that. Again, we went to 2 different ones. And the idea is it's summertime, kids are getting ready, and it just kind of gets them in the mood a little bit. They're kind of excited. There's some supplies that, again, obviously upsets some of the cost. And so doing those things, I think, matter in the sense of just being there for somebody. And what we've seen, and I've told you both this, Eli and Travis, that our community is coming together in so many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things that you've done over the 19 years that we really appreciate. And now it's even much more visible today what you do. And that's why we wanted you on the show, because it's not just about these big projects. It's really about some of the things that you do every day. And that sometimes it goes unnoticed a little bit.
Right.
And I don't want it to be, because I think these kids really do appreciate it. These kids, when they get older, they're not going to forget these moments. The kids remember memorable things that happen to them that kind of keep them going. And sometimes, like you said, even the pajama thing,
Right.
they don't want to do that because they didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so I think things like that matter. And I think for us as a community, as we continue to grow and we continue to provide things for kids to do at no cost. We obviously have our basketball camps. We do the soccer camps. We're doing Gaga Ball this year.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard about Gaga Ball.
See? Maybe she can
It's going to be big. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So it can be huge. You could come to this, and we could teach you how to play. And then me and you
Okay.
could get in there in that circle. And,
One
I
on one.
thought it was for kids.
well, I'm a kid. I'm a 64-year-old
Kid at spirit.
Yeah, I'm definitely a kid. But I think it's having fun with the kids and letting them do things, because a lot of parents do appreciate that, because I do want those kids out running around.
It also
I
gives
want
something
them.
to get the kids out of trouble too. I mean, if you don't
Absolutely.
have something for the kids to
That
do,
you're
they
going
will
in-
find something to do.
And that's not sometimes always a good decision on their
Right?
part.
Yeah. No.
But I think from you, I always appreciate what you do, and I think, like I said, your family has a lot of good things that we love, and we love your family. And I think that you guys, your investments and your personal investments is for what you do in the city. What would you like to see? I always like to ask questions of someone like you. What else would you like to see us work on? The city, community. What do you think are those continual opportunities for us and challenges we have?
I love the improvements that are happening. I think it's important to create an environment that, when our kids in school go off to college, they want to come back here.
Right.
If they don't want to come back here, then we just have the same thing.
Yeah.
We're the definition of insanity. We're doing the same thing over and over and expecting change, and we won't get it.
Yeah, and we do want them to come home. And I think that's a good point, because we do want you to be proud of your community. I'm very proud of being a part of Shepherdsville, and folks in this room, obviously, we are. We show that by what we do. And I think a lot of people are really coming behind that.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue to see community services. You're going to see all the type of facilities we're trying to build, clean up the city, make sure the park is beautiful and very accessible to everybody. I think those are kind of things that we're going to continue to do. They're going to make this a city that you do want to say, I am from Shepherdsville. I am from here. And I think that's been kind of a little bit lost. Our brand has changed a lot over the last year and a half. And,
Yeah.
and it's been really exciting to see that. We've got the shirts that say, I am Shepherdsville. And I think that's a big part. I think first of all, you got to own it, and you got to make sure that everybody's a part of it. But I tell you what, people have come out of the woodworks to say, hey, I've got some time. What can I do?
Yeah.
I've got other businesses that say, hey, we want to clean up your city. We want to give you 2 or 3 hours of some volunteer time. Excellent. So I got to go back and put them down into the schedules, because it's going to be great. I think for us, this kind of newfound pride in what we do started 19 years ago with people like you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I really believe that, because I think you've been doing it, and you do it from your heart. And remember, you don't say no to Traci.
Yeah, we've learned that. Yeah,
if
yeah.
you guys don't know that by now, you haven't learned anything.
I'm not going to give her my number.
No.
I can
I'm
find
gonna.
you.
Yeah. Oh, see what she just said?
She's like, I'll find you.
She almost gave you the look to go with. I'll
did,
find
she
you.
did,
She
yeah.
gave you just the verbiage.
I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah, and you could be in trouble. So, you guys got any questions you want to ask Traci? We're trying to mix it up just a little different. I mean,
I just want to say that like people like you are the reason that I wanted to do this podcast, because people seeing you and the things that you do in the community and the time that you volunteer and stuff. I'm hoping that other people will see things like that and be like, I can do something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I want this whole spirit to kind of be like the
contagious.
spirit of, contagious. The spirit of Shepherdsville. You know
we
what I
want
mean?
this to be contagious.
Yeah,
because
because that's how we're going to grow the community and make it close.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the biggest thing is when people do listen to the podcast, guys, and we always try to bring up certain things. We talk about what we do. We talk about the big things that are going on, but we also talk about the community. Is it safe? Is
Right.
it clean? Is it very accessible to folks? And again, in our community, we get it. This is all demographics. Financially is the big piece in it, where people are at in their lives. And, I think it's if we give kids that ray of sunshine, their life's going to be that way. And you know what? If it starts here, they'll be back here. I thought it was a great comment. We want them to come back. We want them to feel like, don't leave.
Well, you can't forget about those people too, because if you think about Shepherdsville compared to some other places, like maybe in Mount Washington or something, we do have a lot more like low income families. In this,
We do.
And we can't forget about those people. We have to actually like help. The only way to help those people is to help them. You know what I mean? Not to forget about them. So
Well, we also have, and because of our growth, job opportunities are out here.
Right, yeah.
And we're also, one of the pieces that we're still looking at it, and we're kind of figuring out how to actually really deal with it, is some sort of public transportation that can help
That's very
those folks
important.
that don't have vehicles to get to work.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
idea.
help the elderly population actually get to their doctors. That's the focus in this now. It's a very small scale. We have a lot of projects going, so we're going to figure out how to put that in. But I would tell you by next spring, we're going to be talking to some of the businesses how we can maybe fund having a bus that goes to 3 different stops that you can be at, that we can take you to your work and then take you home.
you hear that,
Because-
Tark? Watch out. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I mean, I don't think it'll be anything on a large scale.
Yeah, right.
But I do think it's important if we can make that. That really creates a different opportunity. And I can tell you that because of the notoriety and the things that we've done with the Aquatic Center and other things, people are looking at us.
Yeah.
This looks like this could be a community I could live in. And then we hear about some of the community services and things that people do to volunteer their time and really make things better. We're going to be a good place. I mean, next 5 to 10 years is going to be something we can all enjoy, that we'll all be a part of what's going on.
Yeah, that's actually it's a really good idea, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen people walking to work on the side of 44, and I'm just like, man, that sucks.
I've worked with some people who
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's awful. That it would make a huge difference to them.
bikes.
I'm sure.
Bikes
Yeah.
are- yeah.
Yeah, so I
Like we
think
run
that
bikes.
if we could do some central locations
Oh, yeah.
and do that run
Yeah.
in the morning and get them to the places, again, got to work out the logistics, but that's something we want to do.
Yeah.
But it gets inspired by a lot of things that folks like you do, Traci. This is a big part. I love having you on the show because it's all about kids. And it really is. And it is about those are kids. We always say that kids are our future.
That's true.
Eli. Yeah, got to call him a kid. He's 18.
Well,
You-
no,
I mean,
he's already
yeah,
pointed
I mean,
out that
he's the kid.
I've been doing this job longer than he's been alive.
She's going to have to talk to you after this podcast.
No, I'm definitely calling him.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
he's
see.
going to be
Now
volunteering.
you're-
Yeah,
a lot.
I said that I just,
Yeah, now you're
that
talking.
school wasn't built when I went there, but I'm 53, so this is
Then you're older than me,
No,
so that's good.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That's a really big lie. But anyway, we'll get him after the podcast. But listen, Traci, listen, we love having you on here. Thank you very much for being here. And again, we have to do it every time.
Okay.
You've been around me long enough to know you know what I say. But we always end our show with a 1, 2, 3, love, peace, chicken grease. You've heard me say that before. So
Okay.
you got to do it. It is the toughest thing that you've done in this podcast. So you're almost at the finish line of running the marathon
Okay.
in this Jose podcast.
Jose's world. We're just living in it.
That's right. Maybe let you vacation a little bit, but you're definitely living in it. But anyway,
Awesome.
1, 2, 3.
Love,
peace,
peace,
chicken
chicken
grease. Thank you, guys.